Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In my last episode, I created this, my version of the perfect low volume, no waste starter factory that has room to expand in the future. But for today's video, I want to talk about how everything is powered because I actually don't have a single power pole in the entire factory. Why is that, you might ask? Because I absolutely hate wires going everywhere, and it's why I think the power pole is one of the worst buildables in the game. It's a controversial take, I know. Now don't get me wrong, the model looks great, and functionally it works, but I can't even make this box on the side line up straight with foundations. Why? So to minimize the amount of poles that I use in my factories, and to not require mods like daisy chaining, I'm going to be going over a few blueprints for the machines found in the early game. Constructors, Smelters, Assemblers, and Foundries. Now, if you like this approach and want to use these in your own factory but want to take the easy route, there is a link down in the description where you can download all the blueprints for free. And with that, let's get on with the video. Alright, to get started, we're going to begin with the Foundry, which is one of my favorite machines to do this technique with. First, we'll place down the machine in the blueprint designer, grab a small pillar, place it kind of towards the I guess we'll call this the front. Hold the pillar in place and then move it into position. And we'll just do a little half nudge right there. We're aiming to get it lined up with this little bump out. Then we'll do the other side the same way. Just page down to get it into the position. And then we'll just take the power connector and place it on the pillar, making sure that the symbol's in the right direction, because, you know, OCD. And then run it to the other side. From there, all we got to do is just delete the pillars, and we're done. I really like to set up my foundries this way because the buildings are so lopsided and asymmetrical. It helps a lot with keeping the wires tidy and reduces the clipping when running foundries in a manifold type setup like this. Next is the humble constructor. To start, we're just going to place down the constructor in the middle of the blueprint, grab another small pillar, and first we're going to nudge it into the middle and then do a couple small nudges to get it where we'd like the connector, but below the grate, just so then that way it's not floating when we're done. Once we've done that, we can actually go ahead and delete the constructor, and then we go ahead and put down a disgusting power pole, but put our nubbin on top of the pillar. From there, we just delete the pole, delete the pillar, and add back the constructor, making sure it's where we want it to be lined up with. I try to put it kind of in between these two poles here, so when the wires are actually run horizontal, they go through this little fence thing. And then all we do is just connect it up, and we're done. Out of all of the blueprints, the Constructors is definitely the one I use the most. It really makes things easy to run wires both from machine to machine when they're in a row, but also when they're in a manifold setup across a belt. Next up is the Smelter. Same as before, place it down in the blueprint, grab a small pillar, nudge it into place, kind of aiming for it to just poke out of this little blank area right here. Put that on the input side, do another pillar on the front just to give us a few more options. Do some half nudges to get the pillar in place. Then all we do is delete the machine for now. Grab some nubbins, making sure the symbol's the right orientation to please the OCD gods. Place another one at the back, then we just delete the pillars, delete the disgusting pole, and grab the smelter, put it back in place. Nudge it. That looks good. And then the last thing is just connecting the regular default power connector to the nubbin on the back. Just like the Constructors, this technique works really well when all the machines are lined up next to each other. You can use the front or the back connectors, but it also works well when they're lined up across from each other in a manifold system. Last is the assembler, and just like before, we're going to place down the machine, grab our small pillar, make sure that's centered, and then nudge it into place. Give it a little half nudge. That looks good. Delete the machine. Grab a nubbin. Delete those two. And then we just got to place back the machine. Last, just connect up the two connectors and we're done. I really like to use this technique when I'm connecting everything to an overhead beam or foundation. It's also super convenient when you need to run power to a light pole or the next machine in the production line. So that's it. Those are my favorite starter blueprints and how I minimize the use of power poles in my factories. Remember that there is a link down in the description if you want to download all the blueprints for free. And if you did find this video helpful, please make sure to leave a comment, a like, and subscribe for more content.